Did they have pillows in the Old Testament? Did you just sleep
You
on
know
the
what?
floor?
That is a philosophical question for the
think they
ages.
did.
Did they have pillows in the Old Testament? That, I don't know what that sound is. It's meant to be like alarm bells ringing, because I'm sorry, run!
What a loser, as a certain world leader would say.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the 4th episode of Wedlocked In. We took a break last week because we were struggling with childcare, but we're back again this week with some crazy Reddit stories. So I'm Ella.
I'm Martin, and yeah, we dive into the deepest depths of Reddit to find the craziest stories about marriage, parenting, relationships. Should probably throw in like a general term there as well, because we'll probably occasionally shoehorn something else in there too. But yeah, got a few more for you today. And do you just want to get straight into it?
Yeah, well, the last couple of weeks we've done themes. So last week we had a wedding theme. Week before we had creeps of the internet. But this week we're just going to do like a lucky dip. I feel like every couple of weeks we'll just do like a bunch of random stories that have absolutely zero themes. So that is this week.
Yeah, better than sort of trying to shoehorn things tenuously into a theme. But
Exactly.
yeah, it's been a good week this week. Anyway, we did a lot with our struggling childcare week off. Took the baby to the footy for the first time. That was fun, wasn't it?
Oh my gosh, it was fun, but it was really, really scary because basically our baby is 7 months old and Martin's a big Wrexham football fan. And I haven't been to a football game in about 3.5 years, mainly because, in fairness, it is now really hard to get Wrexham tickets, obviously because Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney now own the club. And anyway, so Martin got tickets and we were like, okay, well, let's bring the baby because, you know, we want to bring her along to stuff. And without really thinking that we had booked like the most rowdy end of the football club.
I'd booked my ticket before I knew you two were coming, so I thought obviously I'll get seats near me because you don't want to sit in another part of the stadium. And then I'm like, oh shit, we're all sitting in the upper sixth, which is right by the away fans. We have drums. If flares usually get let off, they get let off in there. So learnt from that mistake.
Yeah.
But she was fine for the first half, wasn't she?
She was actually okay. She had like little ear defenders on, which looked really cute. And she was actually unbothered by everything. I was freaking out because the tech end was literally jammed full. So like you were just sandwiched in by loads of people. It was very, very loud. But thankfully we found this steward at the football because we asked if we could maybe move to a slightly quieter section if there were any free seats. And this really sweet steward found us. Lad. He was so sweet. He found us literally like front row seats, like in a quieter bit. And yeah, it was so good. But it was a bit... we left the football game early, like 10 minutes early, because it was 3-1 to Hull. So we were like, right, well, we're not going to win now. And also, like, we live about 25 minute drive away from Wrexham. So we wanted to get back and, like, beat the traffic and stuff.
Getting out after a match day is hell. Mm-hmm. I've been there too many times. You try usually get the train, but you can't really do it. It's a Tuesday evening game. So.
And also with the baby, sometimes it's easier to take a car because you have to take a lot of stuff with you. So anyway, but of course, as soon as we left, they then scored 2 goals, caught up, it went to penalties, and they won. And we missed it.
Ollie Farmer comes off the bench. Dad goes, don't worry, girls. He hasn't done much in a couple of years. I think Parky's just throwing the kitchen sink at this. Mm-hmm. And he scores 2 headers in 2 minutes.
Yep.
Like I said, never leave a game early.
Right. Okay, anyway, moving on from football, shall we get into our first story?
What have you got for me, Els?
Okay, so this is coming from r/marriage, titled, Is it okay to go to slumber parties as a married woman? So just in case you don't know what a slumber party is, by the way, a slumber party is like a sleepover, basically. So,
well, it is a sleepover, isn't it?
It is a sleepover, yeah. I feel like it's kind of an older person term for sleepover because I always used to say slumber parties when I was younger and I got it from my mum, so.
We said sleepovers and I'm a year and a bit older than you.
Well, I don't know. Yeah. I got it from my mum.
Okay,
so.
sorry.
Anyway,
continue.
okay. Let's get into it. So, is it okay to go to slumber parties as a married woman? My husband, 27, and I, 25, have been going back and forth on this issue for a while now. We've been together for 4 years and married for 1. Since getting married, he's been firm in his belief that married couples shouldn't have sleepovers outside the home. He's okay with us hosting friends, but he doesn't want me spending the night at someone else's place, even if it's just for special occasions like a birthday party. This has been frustrating for me because I'm talking about being with people that I trust, and it's not something that happens regularly. He insists it's about respecting the marriage. His compromise is that no matter how late it is, he's willing to come and pick me up. But the expectation is still that I won't sleep over. Edit. The sleepover is for a birthday party game night. No men, all women. My husband and I are Christian. What makes it even harder is that the people in his life, friends and family, all seem to share the same belief. What are your thoughts? Is it acceptable for a married woman to go to sleepover parties with her girls?
It's a weird hill to want to die on, isn't it? Like, what does he actually think is going to be happening at these parties? Probably, yeah. Well, Let's take the game night one for example. You play a few board games. I assume there's drinking involved, and then you're too drunk to drive home, so you keep at your mate's house. What's the problem with that? I really don't get it because, like, I know they're not slumber parties as such. You know, your best mate lives a couple of hours away from here, so if she comes to visit, often she'll stay with us, or if your parents aren't at their house, she'll stay with her, you know, or get an Airbnb if her and a fella are coming. My mates have stayed. I don't get why. Yeah, it's a weird thing to make an issue of. I don't really think it's that big. It's not that deep, bro. Come on.
Well, my other thing is as well, is it like specifically sleepovers? Like the idea of like your wife having a sleepover with girls, or is it just her staying at any friend's house ever? Because, I mean, to be honest, both are weird, but like, I don't know. Does he have this weird idea of sleepovers that like we get up to, like in every guy's fantasy as shown in like American sitcoms, sleepovers are, you know, girls
underwear pillow fight. Woo!
Which I can confirm is totally what we do. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't get what his issue would be with this. And the other thing is, to me, it comes across super controlling because, like, at the end of the day, regardless of whether your wife is going to stay at a man's house, like a friend who's a man's house, or a woman's house, at the end of the day, it's all about trust, isn't it? It's like if you don't trust your wife, whether she's staying with a female friend or a male friend or whatever, then, you know, how do you move forward? I don't really get how you can proceed in your relationship without that level of trust. Like, I get that there's some things you'll be more comfortable with and less comfortable with than others, but I feel like this specifically, her hanging out with her friends, it's kind of a red flag that he doesn't want her doing that.
Seems like that relationship's built on sort of shaky trust foundations, if that's a thing. Okay, here's a hypothetical for you. So he doesn't like sleeping at other people's houses, or his wife sleeping at other people's houses. What about if you go on holiday? Does he not want to get a hotel or an Airbnb? Do you have to sleep in the car, or do you have to go on holiday for like the day and come home so they can sleep in their bed?
Wait, what? I'm confused.
He doesn't like his wife sleeping in other houses.
No,
so...
I don't think it's about other houses. I think it's about staying with other people.
Okay, it's just weird.
It is weird.
And like the Christianity aspect has nothing to do with it. Yeah. Where in the Old or New Testament does it say, "Thou shalt not sleep under another's roof"? Because I haven't seen that verse.
Thou must not have pillow fights.
Oh, come on, God! Don't be such a.
That's definitely in the Old Testament.
Sod. Come on. Did they have pillows in the Old Testament? Did you just sleep on
the
floor?
What? That is a philosophical question for the ages. Did they have pillows in the Old Testament? I presume they could use something like, maybe they used like sacks of flour or something.
It was probably
something. Probably makeshift a pillow.
It was probably something grimmer than that, like a sheep's stomach filled with stuff.
No, that's probably it. That was a football. Well, not. Yeah, no. Like, I don't know if it was a sheep's.
Pig's intestine.
Yeah, that's it. Like an inflated pig's intestine.
It's sometimes referred to as the pigskin.
I did not know it was sometimes referred to.
I think that's more of an Americanism, like toss the pigskin, throw the. Not football, because it's not football. You rarely kick it in American football. Sorry, America. But they say toss the pigskin, as in throw me the ball.
Ah.
So I assume that's where that comes from.
I presume so, yeah. Anyway, right, back to the story.
Okay.
So what's she asking here? She's asking, what are your thoughts? My thoughts are that your husband is being incredibly controlling, and I don't really get what his problem is. I would just also, if it's actually stopping you from like having a good time, spending quality time with your friends, and also it sounds like a massive inconvenience because, I mean, friends don't often live like just around the corner. Like, you'll have friends far away. So like if you're like 2-3 hours away and you say that your husband says he'll come and pick you up at whatever time of night or whatever, but it's not that convenient for you or the friend to have the husband come at like 2-3 in the morning to come and get you like 2 hours away, and then you have to spend like 2 hours in the car driving back home.
Make him come at stupid o'clock then if he wants to do a 4-hour round trip to pick you up. I don't make him do it.
Yeah, but I think
he'll get sick of that quite quickly, and then hopefully he might twig like, oh, It'd be so much easier if I just let her stay there and get the train back like she was going to anyway.
I don't know. I feel like maybe it's a control thing. I feel like
Maybe.
maybe there's some weird reason he doesn't like her hanging out with her friends for like, and then not coming back home. I don't know. There's something about that. But yeah, I think as well it's, you know, it's really interrupting her sort of relationships because, you know, as a girl, I'm sure for guys as well, but like it's really nice to have like quality like sleepover nights with your friends, you know, literally just like also just have a night away from home like with your friends. I think it's important to like sometimes get some separation from your partner just so you've got time to like, you know, hang out with your friends, hang out with your family, you know, do your own thing.
When I told you me and Sam were going to Cardiff to watch Deftones next year, you didn't kick off like, oh, well, you can't stay in Cardiff with your friend. You must get the last train back to where we live from Transport for Wales, even though it takes way too long, and that last train of the night always stinks of urine and alcohol.
Well, the thing is, you're not entitled to control where your partner goes. Like, obviously, out of like, you know, respect and consideration, you should ask your partner if they're okay with it, especially if you have a child, obviously, because you have to arrange childcare. You got to see like who's working when, you know. But, you know, if there's no reason why, like, you know, childcare wise or something, why you couldn't go and hang out with your friend, then your partner shouldn't have a problem with it. And it's healthy to go and hang out with your friends. And I will say, I have had friends, I'm thinking of one in particular, who dated someone who was very controlling about them going out. Didn't like her going out at all, didn't want her going on nights out, didn't want her going for sleepovers, didn't want to hang out with her friends. And like, that is such a toxic, controlling relationship. And I would class it as emotional abuse. And also, a lot of physical abusers do often end up starting like that. They like to isolate you from your friends so that they're the only person that you rely on.
Well, it's like the various stages of controlling someone. You start with small little things and it builds over time and isolation, blah, blah, blah. We don't know their relationship. Maybe this is a bit of that. Maybe he's just really insecure or something, but come on, bro, it's weird behaviour. Like, just let her go out. Also, like, I'm sorry. When you're like, oh, do you mind if I go out with my mates tonight, just a few drinks and you can watch it? I'm like, yeah, sound great. I will look after the baby. I will watch all the TV I want to watch. I will hang out with the dog. We'll go for a little stroll down by the river. It's like free time, you know. I know it's not free time because you're watching the baby and the dog, but like, you know, it's like a bit more time kind of to yourself, which is nice to have sometimes.
I think
especially
it's
when you
healthy.
live with someone, you do need those sort of hours here and there away, or, you know, a day or two every so often away, just to it's good to have a bit of time to yourself sometimes.
I agree. To be fair, I think we actually do very well because me and Martin live together and we have for like the majority of 5 out of 7, almost 7 years. And on top of that, we've worked together, and even when we haven't worked together, we've both worked from home. So actually, we pretty much spend 24/7 together. And I think we get on pretty well for people who spend like pretty much every minute of every day together.
Well, you haven't killed me yet. So, yeah.
Right, okay, let's get into some of the comments.
Go for it.
So the top comment on this one is, every marriage is different, but I'm never telling my wife no to something. I don't own her, and she makes whatever decisions she is going to make. I know she wouldn't put herself in a bad situation, so I have nothing to be concerned about. She's gone on a couple of overnight trips with girlfriends for things and had a great time. Everyone needs times like that with friends, especially married couples who get into the Groundhog Day repetition of life. I think he's being ridiculous. I'd imagine he's pretty jealous and an insecure person in general. What's he even worried about?
What did I say? To quote you. Yeah, I mean, okay, there is a handful of things if you said you were going to do, I might chime up a no with, i.e., Martin, I'm going to go to Vegas and gamble all our life savings away. I'd be like, no, you're not. You can go to Las Vegas, but you are taking a agreed amount of money to gamble with, you know, that sort of thing.
Let's also not pretend you wouldn't want to come to Vegas with me.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I've never been that interested by Las Vegas.
No, neither have I,
Casinos
really.
aren't that fun in my experience.
Unless you're rich.
I've been to one once, and it was a work do. I think it was before you started working at Revs, so it was like a Revs night. Because it was a work night, they gave us all like a free £5 chip to get you started to encourage the gambling. So I went to a blackjack table, turned that into about 22 quid, and bought myself a nice bag of smoke on the way home. So
Nice.
that's my only experience with like casino gambling. I don't mind putting a couple of quid on the footy at the weekend, but I never win, and don't gamble like outside your mean. Don't gamble any more than you'd be happy to like lose out your pocket.
Exactly. I think the only gambling I've done really is arcades, but not like serious arcading. Just like, you know, arcades are just a bit of fun, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like, I had so much fun at the arcade.
That was
like,
so good.
When was it? A couple of months ago. It was
May.
really good.
Yeah.
Oh, and also the
Grand
races.
National.
The race. No, I was going to say actually going to the races.
Yeah, you've got to have a little
Yeah,
flutter.
it was.
You don't have
it was
to,
fun.
but, you know.
It was fun. Even if you only win like £2-3, it's really
It's nice to
exciting.
win one.
Um,
We usually have put £1 or £2 on the national every year, but okay, we've got so far detracted from.
Yeah, okay, sorry, let's loop back. Okay, so I completely agree with everything that comment said. I think we kind of touched on all of it already, just that, you know, you shouldn't be controlling your wife. She should be able to do what she wants to do. And also, you know, she should have that quality time with friends. Like, that's important. That's healthy.
Why doesn't he invite his mates over when she goes out with her mates or something? Like,
Yeah,
invite a bro around, have some pizza and beer. It doesn't sound like they have kids, so go out to a bar, drink. Binge drink like we do in the UK. It's fun.
Maybe he's jealous because he has no friends.
Maybe.
Oh, and
Jesus is his friend.
We have an update on this one.
Ooh.
So, update. We've talked things through and I've gained a better understanding. Thank you for all of the thoughtful Thank you for all of the thoughtful feedback. You can leave that in. It's just me trying to read. I love my husband deeply and I appreciate that he did compromise. I'll admit I've been struggling with the changes that come with marriage. I still strongly value my individuality and navigating that balance has been challenging. He does have some controlling tendencies which can be frustrating and he's definitely stubborn at times. But if this is a hard boundary for him, I'm willing to meet him halfway. Many of you brought up sleepovers with family. He's actually totally fine with that. That's a low bar. I've stayed with my mum for days, even a week, and it's never been an issue.
A whole
Yippee!
week.
Oh,
a
wow.
whole week.
How exciting.
7 whole days. Yikes.
It's really the sleepovers with friends, especially since they live 45 to 50 minutes away, that have sparked more discussion. That said, we had a really productive conversation. He acknowledged that he can be controlling, which I appreciated, so we'll see how things go from here. At the end of the day, I just don't want to feel miserable in a space that's supposed to feel like home for both of us. That I don't know what that sound is. It's meant to be like alarm bells ringing, because I'm sorry, run!
What a loser. As a certain world leader would say.
Oh my god. Honestly, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This guy sounds like a prick. Like,
Yeah.
he sounds like a prick. And also, you're like, oh, you know, he's made such a big step. He's admitted to having controlling tendencies. It's like, okay, so he's now admitted to you that he has control issues, but he's going to continue to control you. And also, she's saying, like, he's willing to meet me halfway, but she's not actually said what she means. But does she mean him coming to pick her up? Because that's not really meeting her halfway. That's just him coming to get her because he isn't letting her stay anywhere.
There's just no hope for some people.
I don't want to talk about this one anymore, but OP, if you're listening, it's your relationship, it's your life, but I personally think dump him. I'm sorry, but
Well, it'd be more of a
controlling.
divorce since they're married.
Okay, well, you don't have kids yet, okay? Having kids, that is the line, because once you have kids with someone, they are in your life forever. So we're stuck together. Don't make the same mistake. No, I'm joking.
Thanks.
I'm joking.
You know? This little tidbit comes from r/AITAH. Am I the asshole? And the title is, Am I the asshole for asking my wife for a divorce because she would never defend me in front of her friends when they would insult me?
Okay. I'm
Ponder
going to say
this.
no, just off the title, but let's see.
I agree, but let's hear him out. Okay, so my wife, 32 female, and I, 25 male, got married. Oh my god, some people like can't string a coherent sentence together.
Yeah, I know. I
It's
often
very
actually rewrite
frustrating.
it when I'm reading it, so it makes more sense.
Okay, my wife and I, 32 female, 25 male, got married in January this year. Wife is a lot older than me, 7 years as just described. And I know, despite our age difference, I married her because I truly thought of her as my own family, and I thought we could move forward together as a couple, team, and life partners. But ever since I got married to my wife, a bunch of her friends always insult me every time they get a chance. At first, they say I didn't need to marry a woman so much older than me. I just brushed it off. But now they are saying that I'm a gold digger and I married my wife just for money. My wife is a widow and she got most of her late husband's money in his will. I would try to defend myself, and I told them that I'm capable enough to on my own, and I also inherited a lot of money from my parents, so he seems quite rich. He says I have more money than I could ever imagine. But that didn't stop them, and they would keep insulting me. I asked my wife to stop her friends, but she didn't do anything. I told my wife that I wanted to divorce her. She freaked out and she asked why. I told her that I want a divorce because her obnoxious friends keep insulting me and you don't do anything to defend me. And he feels like she doesn't respect him as a husband, so he wants to leave. My wife cries and she said she will cut all her friends off and she doesn't want to lose me, but I said I want a divorce. I told her that I've done everything in my power for her, but she can't even defend me in front of her friends, and he doesn't want a wife who can't even have his back, rather stay single. It's been 2 days since I've stopped talking to her. She cries all day, and it hurts me to see her crying. She says she will do everything for our marriage and asks me not to give up. But I think if my wife doesn't respect me or our marriage and never defended me, why should I stay married to her? Initial thoughts.
Okay, I'm just processing the information. I mean, no, I don't think... I think that's a valid enough reason to not want to be with someone, I guess. But at the same time, I don't know. It seems like there's a massive... Did he say that he's spoken to his wife about this before? Like, did he say he'd had conversations with her about it? Because I think the only thing is, if you don't have a conversation with your partner about something that's upsetting you, and then out of the blue you're like, I want a divorce, you haven't really given them a chance to... Like, you're not really working through it. And also, that would also make me question, like... Do you want to be with them? Like, do you love them? Because if you've not even had a conversation with them about it, it's a little bit unfair, I guess, to just leave. Like, unless they've cheated or something. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Like, an issue like that, I feel like probably could be resolved. Like, for example, I don't know, the argument might be, and I'm not saying it's justified, but the argument might be that maybe these friends just think that they've got a kind of bantery relationship with him when they don't. Do you know what I mean? They might just, like... you never know. Like, when you read something, you don't know how it's said. Do you know what I mean? I mean, we banter with each other and take the piss out of each other quite a lot. And if you said that in a different tone or like via text to someone who you didn't have as good a relationship with, they might take it the wrong way. Do you know what I mean?
Or if they were American, because Americans do not know how to banter.
Martin,
No.
don't.
No.
We're live. There might be Americans.
No, I know,
watching us right
but
now.
no. This is quite commonly agreed upon that they take things quite literally.
I think they have a different sense of humour
Yeah,
British.
yeah.
I think British
British
humour
banter
is
is
quite
very
brutal.
like put downy, like, all right, you big raging nonce. Oh, I'm good, thanks, mate. How's the family? Like, that sort of thing.
That's also why the British in-betweeners is the only in-betweeners. Like, I've seen clips of the American in-betweeners.
Bastards.
Oh my god. It just doesn't work. I think it's like, I don't know, British
US
humour is like, it's like
shameless.
that very dry, also like sarcastic, like quite deadpan humour sometimes. And I feel like when you try and translate that into like an American TV show, it doesn't always translate because the humour's like a bit different.
The only one that's worked, I'd say, is the US Office, and that's only because obviously the first season was practically the same, but they sort of went off and did their own thing.
I was going to say, they used American humour in The Office, but it worked really,
worked
really well.
yeah.
That's the thing. I think it's probably the same if British people tried to do American humour. Do you know what I mean? If you're trying to be something you're not and do something that doesn't come naturally to you, it's probably not going to work very well.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. No, that would work. That would work.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing. That actually would be hilarious.
$1 million idea. No, actually, £1 million,
It's Always
because we
Sunny
want
in
it in proper
Philadelphia.
money.
That's amazing.
So, this is only a short one, and I think it seems fairly cut and dry. So, shall I read a few comments?
Yeah.
But, well, actually, no. First, I'll say, like, I agree with, like, literally everything you've said. Like, do they think they have a bantery relationship? Do they think they're joking with him and he doesn't get it? If so, maybe you should have a conversation with them as well as your wife.
Mm-hmm.
He's implied that he's spoken to her about it before, and she hasn't done anything.
Okay, yeah.
Whether or not that's the case, though, because you've got to sometimes take these stories with a pinch of salt. And how much of a conversation did he have over it? Was it just once as a passing comment that he said, I don't really like that they... But as well, you know, if my mates were going around, you know, we'd be at the pub and they'd be sort of slagging you off, saying, oh, she's this, she's that, you know. What the fuck are you talking about it like that for? Like, in front of me as well. Like, come on, don't do that, or I'm not going to be friends with you anymore, because you don't...
Yeah.
I think you don't slag off your friend's missus or your friend's fella. You know, you just don't do that. Unless, like, you know, they're a knobhead and they've given you reason to... And maybe she's thinking of leaving him, and you're like, oh, yeah, get rid of him, he's a twat.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah, so just... Yeah, I mean, I think overall, I would say... not the asshole. I'd say I think it's valid to want to leave your partner if you feel like they're not defending you in front of their friends and their friends are being like really mean to you.
Yes.
And it does sound like he has tried to have conversations with her about it before and she's just kind of brushed it off. I think also that he hasn't really mentioned, like, you know, I do feel like this is an issue that could be resolved. But again, if you've spoken to her about it and she hasn't done anything, I guess, how do you move forward? So I'm going to say no, not the asshole. I feel like with therapy, maybe, like, you could work through it. But I just think that if he has reached out and tried to speak to her about it and she's shut him down, then I guess there isn't that much else he can do. If he really, really loves her and he really wants to make it work, maybe this is the wake-up call she needed, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the other thing you could do is when they say things to you, give them shit back.
Yeah.
Just be like, shut up, Doris, your husband can't get it up anymore. I don't know. Anyway, top comment with
Insult.
1,009... And I said Doris as well.
Yeah. Very
Top
British.
comment, 1,921 upvotes. As big of a red flag as her not responding when you asked her to stop them, it is at least a big red flag that she wouldn't stop it on her own without asking you. What?
Yeah.
I think... Did that make sense?
Yeah, it did make
Okay,
sense. You just read it very confused.
Okay, it didn't to me. Whatever.
Yeah, no, they're just saying, like...
Yeah, it's a red flag that she
It's a red flag that she doesn't defend you without you asking her to defend.
Well, yeah, you shouldn't have to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, right. I see the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
I agree. Yeah.
Reasonable. Are there any more interesting comments?
Also, sorry, bear with me. I'm going to tie my hair up because it is so hot here today. I don't know what the temperature is, but honestly, me and Martin were talking earlier this year in January because if you're not in the UK, then it's cold and a bit rainy and wet most of the year. And we were just a bit sick of it. And we were like, you know what? Let's just move somewhere hot. Let's move to like America or Australia or somewhere where we get really good weather. And you know what? Now the summer's rolled around. Can't cope with the heat. I don't know what we were thinking. There's nowhere in hell I would survive in another hot country. Like, I'm melting.
I'm too pasty and Celtic to last in the sun.
Okay, so moving on to the next one. This is coming from r/AITAH, titled, Am I the asshole for refusing to cut off my hair because my 7-year-old niece has cancer?
Ooh.
Yeah, this is an interesting one.
Okay.
The title probably already tells you that I'm the asshole, which I probably am, but I just need other people's opinions on my situation. I am 17 male. Unfortunately, about 6 weeks ago, my niece got diagnosed with ALL. Considering she has pretty much had health issues since birth, words cannot describe how bad I feel for my aunt, uncle, cousin, and especially my niece. It basically broke their family apart, and even though I had never been close with them, I really tried to emotionally support them, especially my cousin, to really let him know that I'm there for him and that he can tell me whatever is going on inside his mind at any time, anywhere. Now I'll get to the point. Last week, due to the results of chemo, my niece's beautiful long blonde hair has started to fall off, which they immediately shaved down. I'm not native English, so sorry if I make this sound weird, but the next day, a group chat, including the entire family, was created where my aunt announced it would be wholesome if everyone shaved their hair off as well to show their support, and then send a picture where the 4 of us are all smiling without any hair on our heads. As soon as I saw this, I thought it was wholesome, but I doubted anyone else would do it. 2 hours later, I arrive home to see both my sister and my mum bald, followed by my other cousin and my grandma. The next day, when I woke up and entered the living room, my mum asked, "When are you ready to do it?" while holding an electric hair trimmer. I originally thought it was something to decide on your own, but since everyone else is doing it, I'm kind of being pushed into a corner. I really, really don't want to sound egotistical, but I'm a guy with long hair, which over the years has basically become my personality. It's pretty much the only thing about myself that I like, and I really don't think I want to shave it off. Yes, if I shave it, my niece could be shocked that her long-haired cousin finally shaved his hair off in order to support her. But if I have to keep things real, I might sound extremely rude here, but my aunt made a video showing my niece's reaction to my mum and my sister shaving their hair off, and she did not even seem to slightly care about it. The video went like this. My aunt was trying to show the picture to my niece, who was watching a cartoon. She had to tap her maybe 4 times to get her attention, and when she looked up, she just stared at it and said, "Wow," and then continued watching her cartoon. I noticed after this video, my mum started to kind of become pushy towards me, shaving my hair to show my support. Again, this might sound rude, but in other words, she wants to drag me down into the pit with her. This morning, I got a text from my aunt where she said it would be really nice if I shaved my head as well in order to show my emotional support towards my niece. If we have to keep things real, shaving my head will basically change nothing about the entire situation, but I can't just say no, can I? I seriously don't know what to do. If my aunt would have shown a little more appreciation to my sister and mum, I probably would have considered it, but considering she didn't even reply to the pictures and just immediately showed them to my niece, as if you have to do it, I don't think I'm willing to do it. Don't get me wrong, I really, really, really love my niece. And even though I'm not close with her, I've always cared about her and made sure she felt comfortable with me. And I have a lot of fun memories with her from when she was a little girl. It's just that when they moved a couple of towns away, we started seeing them less and less. But really, what do I do? I'm almost getting threatened to cut off my hair by 3 people. And if I decide to do it, what if no appreciation is shown? Yes, I would have done it to show support from my side, but if it's nowhere to be appreciated, then what's the point?
Oh, okay. Few points. First of all, you said like his hair's basically his entire personality. Get a hobby, bro. Like, your hair should not be the entire. It's like we were chatting about this the other day. Those people who make political views their entire personality. It's like, oh, okay, you're just a really boring person then. Secondly, it doesn't sound like anyone's forcing you to do it. Are they going to cling film you to the bed like they do on Dexter and point, stick up all the pictures of them with the shiny, bald, shaved heads and be like, this is what you should have done, and then put the razor over your locks? And thirdly, like, the poor girl's got cancer, so sorry she wasn't doing backflips celebrating that family members had shaved their hair off. I think she's got a lot to be dealing with, and having to go through all that. It's 7 years old, is she? Having to go through all that at that age. And it's sad anyone has to go through it at any age, but, child, 7-year-old child, like, she's probably tired from the chemo and just wanting to enjoy your cartoons. And sorry if she didn't have the reaction you expected she'd have, but cut her a bit of slack, man. I think he is being I don't think he should have to shave his head off if he doesn't want to. You can support your niece in other ways, but I kind of think saying like, oh, I feel like family are threatening me and this and the other, like, don't be such a softy, lad. I'm sure they're not. What do you think?
I don't agree with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
No, but I have actually sort of cheated a little bit with this story, because basically I shared this story on TikTok last week because I didn't really know what I thought of it. Yeah, initially I was like, yeah, I mean, it seems like a nice thing to do to like show support, but at the same time, so I shared this story on TikTok and got like loads and loads of comments, and yeah, I don't think he is the asshole, and I don't think he should have to shave his hair off. I mean, firstly, okay, a lot of people think that if you shave your hair off when someone that you love has lost their hair through cancer, that it's a really nice thing to do because it's sort of like solidarity. But like, you haven't actually asked the person who's actually got cancer if that would mean anything to them, because the thing is, if it doesn't mean anything, and I think that's the point he's making, if it doesn't mean anything to the person who has cancer, then it's pointless. And also, like, I even saw quite a lot of people comment on that video that I posted saying, who had cancer, saying that actually when people that they knew shaved their heads in support, it didn't actually make them feel better, because when their hair started to like grow back, it just reminded them that they were the ones that were sick, and that actually, they've got this choice to cut their hair or not cut their hair or do whatever they want. And it makes, it kind of is just a reminder that they have no control over what's happening to their body.
Is it also kind of making it about you, not the poor sod with cancer? Look at what a virtuous person I am, shaving my head in support of you. Is it is it getting too far from the point of what you're actually trying to do, i.e. show a bit of moral support? Because I did say that in my mitigating circumstances before, like, there are other ways you can show support and solidarity to this girl that don't involve shaving your head. If she lives a few towns over, maybe go and visit her more often, see if she wants to go play at the park at the weekend, or is there an activity she likes doing that you could join in with? Those are other ways you could show moral support, and you're taking her mind off what's going on as well, surely. Because I guess if she's just seeing loads of people with shaved hair around her, you could make the argument it's a constant reminder of her new look. post chemo. Is that a fair argument to make?
Yeah, and I think what you said
know.
about virtue signaling, loads of people said that as well. I do think that it can become something that's just like, oh, look at me, I'm such a good person because I did this. And it's like, but again, it all comes back to the person who is actually going through cancer treatment. What's important to them? Because, I mean, you know, if this little girl, you know, also she's very young. I mean, it's just firstly, it is a horrible thing for her to be going through. Absolutely awful. Really sorry to the family and anyone who's going through something like that. But you know, it doesn't sound like this is an act of support that's really having any sort of effect on her. Do you know what I mean? She doesn't seem like she's that bothered about them shaving their heads. And like, she shouldn't be. She's probably also too young to really understand the significance of what they're doing.
Yeah.
And as you said, there's lots of other ways that you could support her that would probably be more meaningful. You know, it's like, is there like a favorite, like a toy or something that she's had on her Christmas list for ages? Is there somewhere that she's always wanted to go? Is there a game that you always used to play together when she was younger that she'd enjoy playing? Like, there's so much stuff that you could do that isn't that to show your support. And I do think that, you know, the mum and the aunt and everyone kind of like bullying him into cutting his hair off it's more for them. It's not for the little girl. And I think like if you had a friend who had cancer and they were saying to you, one of the things that I'm struggling with the most is like I just feel like really embarrassed when I'm out. I hate being the only person who doesn't have any hair. If they said that to you, that's kind of signaling maybe that it would make them feel better if others kind of looked similarly to them while they were going through this treatment. And in that case, maybe shaving your head could be a way to show support. But I think the key word is could. It's a way you could show support, but it's completely dependent on the person going through the cancer treatment.
There's not one single method of showing support in this problem, is there?
Yeah, I personally think not the asshole. And I think it's a very difficult. Also, this boy's only like 17, I think, or something. Like, he's quite young. And, you know, I know what you said about the long hair being his personality, but can I just say he's 17, he's probably going through a phase. And also, you know, 17-year-old boys as well as 17-year-old girls often have loads of like insecurities and stuff. So like if his hair's like the only thing that kind of makes him feel confident, like it must be quite hard to get rid of that. And yes, I know obviously it's not as bad as going through cancer, but again, like he said, if his niece literally couldn't give a fuck about whether he cuts his hair or not, it's just going to make him feel bad and it's not going to benefit or make her feel better. So it's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah, what do some of the comments? I am going to straddle the fence on this one.
Okay, what's your prediction? What do you think?
What do I think
the vote on it's going to be?
No idea. I'm going to say not the asshole maybe, but I'm going to fence it, so get the creosote out.
Okay. Right. The top comment with 4,700 upvotes is, if I, God forbid, got cancer, I would find this extremely condescending. Showing support is not the same as a phone call or coming to visit, which is actually showing support. Yeah, I agree with that. Let's read some of the comments below that. When my mum got sick and needed to shave her head, she was absolutely fuming at my brother suggesting we shave ours too. As she explained, she felt bad enough with the reminder every time she looked in the mirror. She didn't need one while looking at her kids. And that's what I was saying before. It's like, you know, sometimes you might think what you're doing is something really nice that is going to be appreciated by someone else, but it's all about, and this is kind of everything in life, it's all about the person on the receiving end. Like, I'm going to talk about BoJack Horseman now. So, you know, in BoJack Horseman, if anyone's watched it, there's a character called Mr. Peanut Butter, who is a golden retriever, who I do actually love, to be fair, and he's married
He's a yellow lab.
He's married to Diane, who I do actually find quite annoying, but on this one occasion, I do understand her frustration with him. So they're married, and basically Diane hates surprise parties. She hates a lot of people. Like, she's a bit of an introvert. She's quite like quiet. She doesn't like being around a lot of people. And Mr. Peanut Butter loves having massive parties and being surrounded by people and music and partying all the time. And Diane constantly tells him, I don't want like a surprise party for my birthday. Like, that's not what I enjoy. I don't like it. And every single birthday that she has, Mr. Peanut Butter throws her a surprise party despite her telling him that she doesn't want one. And I think it all goes back to like intent. If you enjoy something and you think, oh, I'll do this nice thing for someone else because they'll enjoy what I enjoy, you're not actually doing something nice for someone else. You're doing something nice for yourself. So you have to think about who your audience is. Is it actually beneficial to your audience or not?
Yes. 2 points. Mr. Peanut Butter is a yellow lab.
Oh.
He's from the Labrador Peninsula. That's a bit of a clue.
Right.
Secondly, Diane sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, to be fair, Diane does suck because Mr. Peanut Butter did do this really cute thing for Diane once where she said that she always wanted a bell room, which is like the library from the Beauty and the Beast film. And in the Beauty and the Beast, if you don't know, loads of the like furniture items are like, real people. You know, they've got googly eyes and they talk and they
Pierre
dance
the
around.
Candlestick.
Yeah.
We do not allow you English in our restaurant.
He's not called Pierre, he's called Lumiere because
Lumiere.
it means light, like the candle.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, the bell room story. So basically, Mr. Peanut Butter decided to create this bell room for Diane. Like, he built this beautiful library and he drew googly eyes on all of the furniture, so it was just like Beauty and the Beast, because Diane had told him that she'd always wanted one when she was a little girl. And somehow she got annoyed at him for this because she was like, it was something beautiful that was in my head and I didn't actually want it in reality. It's like, I'm sorry, if I told you that, my whole life I've wanted like a bell dress or something exactly like Belle's and you got it for me, and then I was like, how dare you, because it's not as good as it was in my head. Like, I'm sorry, some people are never happy. But okay, this is completely getting off track from the point I was trying to make. The point I was trying to make is that when you like give a gift or you do something for someone, it has to be for that person and tailored to that person. If it's about you and it's not about them, then you shouldn't be doing it because you're not actually doing a nice thing. You're just doing something to suit you. So that's kind of what I think about this story. I feel like the 7-year-old niece, it seems, doesn't really care about this shaving of the heads. It might even make her feel worse, like some of the other cancer survivors are saying in the comments. So I think not the asshole. He shouldn't have to cut his hair, and he should find another way to support his niece. Oh, also, I didn't pick up on this when I read it. I only picked up on it when I posted it on TikTok and loads of people were saying in the comments. There's definitely some confusion here because he says that this girl is her niece, but he says that the mum of the niece is his aunt, which would make it his cousin. So loads of people were like, this makes absolutely no sense. But I think it's because he does mention in the story that he's not native English. So I think that maybe he got confused about like the title. So I think he's actually talking about his cousin, not his niece, just in case anyone picks us up on that.
It gets very confusing. First cousin once removed and second cousin twice removed and once tooth extracted and...
Well, yeah, but I mean, to be fair, this is just cousin versus niece.
Oh, right. Okay.
But anyway, I think it's his cousin. Anyway, okay, let's wrap it up. Essentially, I think not the asshole, personally. I don't think he should have to cut his hair off, and that's that. I think he should find another nice way to support his niece/cousin.
And I am going to plead the fifth, the right not to incriminate myself, so I can just
So
sit
you're not
on
going
the
to
fence.
say, you're going to sit on the fence.
I'm
Boring.
going to Pontius Pilate. I'm going to wash my hands of this.
Right. Okay.
If you want to get that Jesus fella, you go for it.
I'm bringing in a new rule. You're only allowed to sit on the fence once an episode.
Okay. I mean, it's only ever happened once, so...
Well, just consider this your first warning.
Yeah. Okay. Rude. May I continue?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Okay. Ooh, this one also comes from r/AITAH. Am I the asshole for telling my in-laws we're getting divorced because my wife cheated on me since they thought I was leaving her because of her weight? Yeah.
Okay, got
Does
it.
that-
Got it.
yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Process.
Right. I, 35 male... Oh my god, dude, learn to use a paragraph. This is just a block of text. Sorry, I'll try that again. I, 35 male, thought I was getting everything I ever wanted with my wife, 35 female, when we were in our late 20s. I truly love her both when she was thin and now that she's plus-sized. She became plus-sized during her pregnancy, and I was still hot for her. But she hated her new body, and she felt ugly despite all my compliments. Over the years, she gained more weight and felt worse about herself. More recently, she cheated on me. She had felt so low about herself, she wanted to see if men who didn't have to love her would find her sexy. I didn't have to love her because we have a child together. I love her because she's her. We're getting divorced, and I wanted the process to be peaceful, but my in-laws, especially my mother-in-law, 57 female, were giving me hell because they thought I was a shallow jerk who was leaving his wife because she gained weight during pregnancy. I was confronted by her parents. Again, I told them the truth. Now my in-laws are giving my wife hell and she's miserable. I don't want her to be miserable. I just want my in-laws off my case. Am I the asshole?
So summary, he's asking if he's the asshole because when he wanted to divorce his wife because she cheated on him, the in-laws thought that he was leaving her because she was overweight, and so he told the in-laws that wasn't the
That it
reason,
was
and the
the
reason was
cheating.
because she cheated.
And now they're mad at the wife, the ex-wife.
No, you're not the
No.
asshole. I'm sorry, but you made your bed and you're gonna have to lie in it. So harsh but fair.
Like she lay in the other man's bed.
Ba-dum-bum.
A cheating
Yeah.
drum roll.
No, I think I'm sorry, but I am totally against cheating. I mean, I know everyone says they're against cheating, but like, if I'm honest, I don't understand cheating. Like, I know it sounds stupid, but like, I don't understand. Like, if you don't want to be with someone, just don't be with them.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like, if you're unhappy, if your sex is bad, if like your relationship is bad, if you're unhappy and you're looking elsewhere for comfort or, whatever,
Yeah,
just
it's
leave
not
them. I don't
hard
understand
not
why you
to
can't just leave
cheat.
them. The only time I think it's acceptable is if you're in a domestically abusive relationship where like you're in a situation where it's very, very hard to like leave because you are being physically abused.
Yeah.
I think that's the only exception to the rule. But apart
yeah.
from that, yeah, I mean, let's just like analyze this story a little bit. Your wife is a massive asshole because okay, as someone who has just had a baby 7 months ago and gone through, postpartum and having to like get used to your new body because obviously your body changes after pregnancy, not only weight gain, but your boobs get bigger, your other things get bigger, you get stretch marks, and like, it can be hard to feel confident because obviously, a lot of changes have happened and hormonally as well, a lot of hormonal changes happen, which can also contribute to you feeling worse about yourself because you can go through like postpartum depression or you have like increased anxiety. So there's a lot going on. So let me just say, I do 100% sympathize with that, and I can understand that can be such a difficult time to go through, but there's a difference between the way you feel and what you act on. And I think that, she was obviously feeling very low about herself and seeking validation elsewhere, even though it sounds like from the side of the story we've been told that she was getting validation from her husband. And where was I going with this? Yeah, like, if you're going through depression or anxiety or any kind of like mental health struggles, there's, you still have to be held accountable for your actions. Like, it doesn't mean that, like, for example, if you're depressed and you speak to your friends and family in a really horrible way, obviously, you can empathize with the fact that you're going through depression and the fact that this person is really struggling, and you can forgive them, but at the same time you still need to apologize for that behavior. And also for some people can't move on from behavior like cheating because you've acted on something that's now happened, and now your husband now has to deal with the consequences of that. And also with cheating as well, even if you love someone like absolutely with all your heart and they cheat on you and you really, really want to forgive them, a lot of the time you just can't because you can't mentally get like an image out of your head. You can't trust them again, even though you try. You can't, be sexual with them again. Do you know what I mean? I think the problem with cheating is once it's happened and once it's out there in the open, sometimes you can recover from it, but sometimes you can't. And there isn't really a whole lot you can do about. You can't make the other person just get the image out their head or stop feeling a certain type of way about it.
It's the toothpaste already out of the tube argument. Nigh on impossible to get it back in once you've squeezed it out.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't meant to be an innuendo, by the way. I just I'm gonna say a lot the same what you've said probably, but I just don't see like the point in cheating on someone. And as well, like, it's not hard not to do. It's not like, Eminem says it in that Guilty Conscience song. What do you think? She just slipped and fell on his dick. Like, come on, like, it's not hard, is it? It's not hard not to cheat. Same way, it's not hard not to rob a bank at gunpoint. It's not hard not to commit crime and cheat. Like, not saying cheating's a criminal offence, but maybe it should be. Don't feel bad for a dude. If she's gone and lied to her parents, your in-laws, about you to make herself seem like the victim in it, fuck her feelings, man. I'm sorry she's like gone through a lot postpartum, But like that is no excuse whatsoever for treating you in that way and making you out to be the villain of the piece.
Exactly.
Let her, you reap what you sow. If she's told her parents a lie, they found out the truth, and now they're mad at her because it's her fault for the divorce. Then she's just receiving the consequences of her actions. Fuck her, quite
100%.
frankly.
And like you said before,
No,
as well,
don't fuck her.
And like you said before, like cheating isn't an accident, and it really annoys me when people are like, it was just an accident, because it also, you know, sex for most people is a relatively lengthy process in terms of like, you know, from like a kiss to getting into bed together to actually doing it, and then like, you know, post-coital and everything. Like, it's a lot of like, there's a lot of steps that go into that. Like,
I've never seen a bed in a nightclub.
It's not accidental. You have to make the decision. You have to constantly make the decision for a few hours, probably, from like, as you said, wherever you are, like on a night out or whatever, to getting into bed with someone else and sleeping with them. Like even like a kiss, I still class a kiss as cheating, obviously, but I feel like a kiss could happen more accidentally than, you know, like, because someone could kiss you kind of against your will in the nightclub, or, you know, I can understand how it happens more, like, you know, if you're drunk and you sort of, because it's momentary, do you know what I mean? I'm not justifying it, by the way, but I'm just saying I can understand that happening more than actually sleeping with someone, because like sleeping with someone is a whole thing, you know, it's not an accident. And as you said, I don't know where the parents got the fact that he left her because she was overweight, but I mean, I presume
probably told them that.
Well, yeah, exactly, because why would they think that? And also, if they automatically jump to that conclusion without her saying anything, that's kind of judgmental of them, because they're obviously making it a thing. But I'm sorry, I do have sympathy for your wife, like, going through postpartum, because I do think as well, you know, some people do have a really hard time with that, but she, you know, she handled it the complete wrong way in terms of sleeping with another man, especially when, you know, if you'd been being really nasty to her. Again, I'm not justifying cheating, but like, if you'd been being really nasty to her and making her feel awful about herself and being like, you know, you need to lose weight, you don't look like how you used to, and you know, pouring all this like gasoline onto the fire.
You're causing that situation.
I can understand more how she would be driven into the arms of someone else who's going to validate her and make her feel good about herself. But if you were genuinely trying to make her feel good about herself, hyping her up, you know, appreciating her new body and everything, and she still went off and sought validation from someone else, and not only did that but acted on it, I'm sorry, but as I said, you made your bed and you got to lie in it. So that's what I think. Not the asshole to him, she is the asshole. I do hope she finds happiness.
My sympathy has dried up. You know, like, I'm sorry you've been through a lot, and I can't imagine what you've gone through because I don't have the parts to be able to go through it, but it's not a justification for really shitty behaviour.
Yeah, no, it's not.
But I'm sorry you're going through what you went through, and it can't be nice. But you know, you can't use things as an excuse to justify your own shitty actions.
Mm-hmm. Oh, also, like, can I just say to OP, I feel like he handled this situation really well. Like, the whole thing just sounds like it was handled really well.
I'm just gonna read the top comment. Very much the top comment. 16,300 upvotes.
Wow.
16.3k. Ooh, bank balance. No, you are not the asshole. Your wife is, though. She lied to her parents about why the marriage ended. Instead of getting the therapy she obviously needs, she chose to cheat. Chose in capital letters, because it is a choice. It is not a mistake. It is not an accident. This is no longer the comment, by the way. This is me moaning. Mm-hmm. If you can't act like an adult in a marriage, don't be in a marriage. Mm-hmm. If you can't act like an adult, a respectful adult in a relationship, don't be in a relationship. It's okay to be single and shag around. That's fine. No one cares. But don't make another person feel awful.
Well, and also, you are defined by your actions, not by your thoughts. I'm sure we all have thoughts sometimes of things that we shouldn't do, or things that we shouldn't think, or like, you know, things that we feel guilty about. But there's what kind of defines you as a person is whether you act on those feelings or not. Like, if we all just acted on impulse all the time, we would just be, you know, animals, basically. That's what makes us human, is that we actually consider something in our minds before we act on it.
I'd probably be dead in a ditch somewhere in Eastern Europe if I just acted on impulse. So, you know, let's not do that. Okay.
Sorry, what situation has led you to that point? Did you like get into a fight with a...
Probably. It was probably a lad's holiday in some place where the beer is really cheap, and yeah.
And they have Camel cigarettes.
Oh God,
They're
fucking
the worst
Camel
cigarettes.
cigarettes.
We don't smoke anymore, by the way.
Disgusting.
But when I did used to smoke, I had Camel cigarettes on holiday in Greece because they were like £4 for a whole pack of cigarettes. And if you don't know, if you don't smoke, cigarettes now cost like what, £15 a pack? They're really expensive.
I think it's more. It's gone up again in the UK.
Yeah, I used to pay like £13-14, and I haven't smoked now for almost 2 years. Almost 2 years. Hey,
Yeah,
that's
2
pretty
years
good,
in
both of us.
November.
Anyway, so I got these Camel cigarettes on holiday, and oh my god, they are genuinely. Camel cigarettes will make smokers smell themselves. Like, as a smoker, you cannot smell the smoke on you unless you have Camel cigarettes, in which case you can smell how disgusting you smell all the time. And they taste terrible. Ugh,
It
God.
must be all the extra rubber from the car tyres they add in there to get the tobacco to last longer.
Oh my God, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if there were, I don't know, parts of a human in a Camel cigarette. They are not to be trusted. Okay, this is coming from r/Am I the Asshole, titled, Am I the Asshole for Asking My Cousin to Help with My 2-year-old? I, 32 female, have a 2-year-old son, and my husband, 34 male, and I are both working full-time and are overwhelmed with childcare responsibilities. We don't have nearby family to lean on regularly, and we've hit a point where we truly need someone to help during the week. My cousin, 29 female, lives 1.5 hours away. She doesn't have kids, doesn't want any, which I fully respect, and recently quit her toxic job without having a new one lined up. Her husband currently supports her financially. Given her open schedule, I reached out to her with a proposal. Come and stay with us Wednesday through Friday to help out with us. Sorry, let me read that again. Given her open schedule, I reached out to her with a proposal. Come and stay with us Wednesday through Friday to help out with our son. We have a finished basement with a pull-out couch for her to stay in, and I offered her $150 a week. I didn't expect her to do it for free. I thought this was a fair offer. She declined. I didn't press at the time, but a few weeks later, around Easter, I brought it up again because we were still struggling. I explained how much the help would mean to us. She declined again and mentioned not being able to go to her gym and not wanting to change nappies as one of her reasons. I get that routine is important, but it felt like a small sacrifice given the circumstances. At our Mother's Day barbecue, my husband privately asked her mum, aka my aunt, if she could try talking to her. My cousin overheard, got angry, and said that we were being disrespectful by going around her and left early. Since then, she's ignored all of our messages and skipped our Memorial Day barbecue, which she usually attends. I didn't think asking her twice was crossing a line. We weren't demanding, we offered compensation, and we're family. I don't think it's outrageous to ask someone who's not working and has nothing to do to consider helping us out when we're clearly in need, especially when it's temporary and paid. I also don't think asking her mum to speak with her was some big betrayal. It was just a last-ditch effort to appeal to reason. Now, some of the relatives are saying that I was out of line, but honestly, I feel like I'm being punished for asking for help. I respected her no, but I also had every right to ask again.
Well, no, you didn't respect her no, did you? Because you kept asking and you kept asking. And she said no again, so you went and asked her mum, or you got your husband to ask her mum on your behalf. And, like, I'm sorry, like, if you have no family around and you're struggling with your childcare needs, but you have someone who lives an hour and a half, 2 hours away, that doesn't automatically make them responsible to help with your childcare. It's quite selfish and quite telling about you as a person that you think you're entitled to help from family. Oh, but we offered to pay them. Oh, $50 a day. Wow, fucking hell, stop the presses. Let me call my stockbroker. Let's put it into gold, see? Jesus Christ. You've offered her shit money to come and do something she doesn't want to do. And then you've got pissy because she's maybe had a bit more of a go at you saying she doesn't want to do it. Like, and she doesn't even want kids. You said it yourself, original poster. I do, like, wonder about some of these people who write these things and think, yes, I am morally right about this, and here you go, internet, judge me. Like, are you fucking joking, love? Like, seriously, you need to wad your head from up your backside and smell the fucking fresh air, my God. I'm sorry, like, if, fair enough, you're struggling with childcare needs, I'm sure it'll happen to us in the future. But, you know, if your parents can't do it, my folks can't do it, you know, close family members or friends can't do it, and you just have to find a childminder or a nursery or alternative arrangements. Also, is it not... Do you not have like a backup childcare in case your initial one falls through? Is that not like quite standard to do? Because we're trying to work that out at the minute, aren't we? Like a backup childcare. Yeah.
Yeah, I have so much to say about this. Honestly, this one got me so pissed off. Like, I'm sorry, and we can say this as people who are now parents. Your child is not anyone else's responsibility. When you have a child, you know, I know that it's nice for like grandparents to help out or friends to help out, whatever, but at the end of the day, you shouldn't expect that. That's not their problem. You decided to have a child, no one else. And when you sign up for having a child, you sign up for looking after that child and figuring out childcare, as in paid childcare, nurseries, childminders, whatever. If you don't have the family resources available to you, or, you know, your family aren't willing to be your babysitter, which is totally valid, by the way, you know, you should expect that and you should plan for that. And also, how frigging entitled to... I'm sorry, why does she think her cousin, who lives an hour and a half away and has a husband, she wants this cousin... Honestly, when you read it, it's so ridiculous. She wants this cousin to go away from her husband 2 hours away for 3 days a week to live in her basement and look after her child. What? For $50 a day, which in pounds, what's that? Wait, it's dollars. That's less in pounds, right?
40 quid a day, maybe 45
I'm
quid.
sorry, that's barely even. That's not even like minimum wage now, is it? Minimum wage is more than that now.
So it was 150 quid a week.
Yeah.
So her weekly wage in pounds, £110 a week.
Yeah, so that's Wednesday through Friday, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Less than 40 quid a day.
That's not even minimum wage. And
that's
it also...
borderline slavery.
Yeah, exactly. And also, she's like, yeah, but we're family. It's like, so?
We're family, so I can rip you off and not feel bad about it.
So I can exploit you. Like, that's the thing in families. You know, like, if someone in your family is in a specific profession, like, bear in mind, as you said, she's not even in childcare. She doesn't do childcare and she doesn't even want kids. Like... If there's someone in your family who does a certain profession, like, for example, like painting and decorating, like my dad's a painter and decorator, but he doesn't live nearby. I'm sure that he would help out with decorating and stuff if he lived nearby. But even if he did, I'd still pay him for it because I'm not going to, like, exploit my... Like, I know that family are going to, like, help you out every now and again and maybe give you mates rates and stuff, but it's like, this woman doesn't even work in childcare and she doesn't even live near you. She has a husband and she also just quit her toxic job, presumably because she's trying to, like, you know, maybe she's doing a career change or she needed a break. She doesn't want to come and look after your snotty kid. I'm sorry. Like, and I know that sounds mean, but like, your child is not her responsibility. And also, yeah, the whole I respected her no. Like, you did not respect her no. Not only did you not respect her no, you asked her for a second time after she told you explicitly she didn't want to do it. And then you went behind her back and asked her mum to try and convince her to take a job that she doesn't want and come and live in your basement.
I'm going to tell your mum you're being mean to me.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it... Oh, my God.
OP...
I reckon this OP... You could ask them to go to B&Q and look for a tin of, like, tartan paint. Or, like, fucking spirit level bubbles. They don't seem to be the brightest individual in the room.
OP, you are the asshole. You are a massive asshole. And the fact that you can't see that you're an asshole makes you even more of an asshole. So I'm sorry, but, like, you need to get your shit together, apologise to your cousin, and also get some perspective. Like, go and... Why can't you just go and look at childcare options like every other parent? Go look at nurseries or go for a childminder. Why don't you just go for an actual childminder? Oh, wait, because you don't want to pay them.
Yeah, that's what it is. You just don't want to make sacrifices in your own financial lifestyle to allow for the fact that your childcare needs have changed. Surely as a parent, though, you'd put that, like, apart from, you know, maybe like a roof over your head, mortgage or rent, where if you own or rent, that'd be like the next thing there is the little and looked after properly when we're at work.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, your sis... Is it the sister, sorry, or the cousin that she's asking?
Cousin.
Your cousin is not responsible for your inability to plan correctly and financially for care for your child. Like, don't make it her problem. Please read some comments. I want to hear this dickhead get eviscerated.
Yeah, same. Yeah, also the other thing, she keeps being like, we really need help. I'm being punished for asking for help. It's like, yeah, but you're not... She says we're not demanding, but I love saying this, right? Because I feel like this really puts people in their place when they are demanding something from you. If you ask someone something and they say no, that's fine. But if you continue asking and you don't accept their no, you are demanding. That is literally the definition of demanding. If you're asking someone something, they say no, and then you make them feel bad for saying no, or you shame them for saying no, you are demanding that they do exactly what you want them to do.
You're trying to pester them into submission, so they're just like, oh, you know what? Save any hassle with Janice. I'm just going to say yeah and watch a snotty kid.
Right. Okay. Top comment. You ready?
You.
842 upvotes. Yes. You the asshole. Not only did you offer her the job as a 3-day-a-week live-in nanny for only $50 a day, far below the minimum wage in many areas, you act as if she is somehow required to take your shitty offer and be thankful for it no matter how bad of an offer it is. Your shitty offer is not a summons. She said no, you should have left it. She doesn't want to care for kids. She doesn't want to move away from her home for 3 days a week for work. She doesn't want to be away from her friends and her family and her husband. You decided what was best for her without consulting her in the slightest. And now you're trying to get everyone around you to bully her into submission. Back off. Quit pretending you know what's best for your cousin. You don't, and it was never your prerogative to make that decision for her. And the fact that you act like you're trying to force your offer is more reasonable than her making her own decisions is condescending as hell.
Yeah.
Hit the nail on the head.
I got more money last weekend for 12 hours of bartending.
Yeah.
Plus, I got roast dinner on the Sunday. Had a pint after work on Saturday. Dave and Jane bought me. And on Sunday. And a customer also bought me a pint on Sunday. So, you know, I got paid more than that for minding a couple of taps and fetching ice from the cellar.
And you didn't have to sleep in the basement.
I didn't. And I didn't get covered in feces.
Yeah, that's
Although
part of the
I
job.
did... Oh, my God, I don't think I told you. I inadvertently knocked a glass off the top shelf of the bar and it nearly hit Jane.
Oh my
It
God.
Smashed everywhere. I nearly glassed my boss inadvertently.
But you didn't.
But I didn't.
And that's the important thing.
I didn't. And thankfully, when I next saw her, she was laughing about it and not just like, get the fuck out.
I once smashed a glass shelf in a hairdressing salon. Yes, it's like if you've ever been to a hairdressing salon, it's like when you're sat in front of the mirror, there's like a little kind of shelf table in front of you, you know, where you have your like tea and coffee. And in this hairdressing salon I was in, this was years ago, it was glass. And basically I was sat there chatting to the hairdresser about what I wanted done. So obviously I use my hands when I talk. So I was like, I want to do this and I want to do this and I want to do this. And basically as I thrust my hands up, it went under the glass shelf. The shelf flew upwards and then literally smashed all over the salon floor. And it was a really small salon. So literally there was only like 2 women in that, and every single person in that hairdressing salon just was looking at me like with like their mouths hanging open because, oh my God, it was so embarrassing.
Was it not like bolted in or screwed in or anything?
In my defense,
that seems very dangerous not to secure that.
In my defense, I did not hit it that hard. I only I brushed it with my like fingertips, so it mustn't have been that well secured. But yeah, it was pretty embarrassing because then I had to sit there for the next like hour and a half while I got my hair done. And
that's funny.
Yeah, surrounded by glass.
Okay, so conclusion is OP is an arsehole.
Asshole is the overall vote, and rightly so. And also, I'm really annoyed because OP hasn't like commented back to any of the commenters probably because she can't defend herself. But I want to hear her try and defend herself because how did you, as you said, how did she write this out, read it back, and think, yeah, I'm in the right. I'm in the right for asking my cousin to come and live in my basement for £40 a day and live on a pull-out couch and look after my child.
Yeah.
2 hours away from her husband, away from her home, which she loves, after just quitting her toxic job. Yeah, you're the asshole. I don't feel like there's anything further to say on this. You are entitled and selfish, OP, and you are responsible for your own child. No one else needs to look after your child. Moving on.
There's just no help in some folk, is there?
Nope.
Oh, I've just seen the title of this one.
I just found this today.
Oh, yikes. It might be itching downstairs after reading this. So this one comes at you from r/AITA_WIBTA_public. And the title is, am I the asshole for sending my wife an anonymous STD notification? Dun dun dun.
I am gonna say. I feel like I need more context.
I would like some clarity on whether STD could mean save the date or sexually transmitted disease, but I believe it's the latter.
I hope it's the second one.
I think you're going to be sorely disappointed. Anyway,
What?
we carry.
You think I'm going to be sorely disappointed because you don't think it's going to be sexually transmitted disease?
Oh no, I said save the date first, didn't I? You are correct.
Okay, right.
Hopefully you won't be sore. Hopefully you won't be sore. Hey. Okay, so I, 32 male, have been married to my wife Maria, 30 female, for 12 years. We married young, had ups and downs, but never anything like this. About a year ago, she volunteered for a 6-month military-adjacent deployment. When she came back, she began acting different, including new clothes, hair, expensive nails. I knew it was a very traumatic experience, so I figured it was her processing the intense assignment. Then I noticed a guy, let's call him Alex, hearting every one of her social media posts. I didn't know him, which was unusual, since we know everyone in each other's circles. She said they met on deployment and that I should let it go. Fast forward to about 4 months ago when her team planned a reunion picnic. She got weird about who'd be there and where it was. On the day, she got dolled up, but I overheard her telling a friend how cute someone was. She left at 11 a.m. and never checked in. By 9 p.m, I used Find My to see she was at an Italian restaurant downtown, which was an odd spot for a picnic. Well, the picnic probably ended by then, but anyway, we continue.
I don't think there was a picnic.
No, or maybe. We'll find out. So I did what any self-respecting human would do. I drove to the restaurant. She was there with Alex. After that, all the alarms were going off. I didn't confront her. Instead, I called my brother, who told me about the ability to send anonymous STD notifications. It took a few days to figure out my next move. A few days later, I sent her one. She received a notification saying a partner tested positive for an STD and recommends that you also get tested. She didn't say a word to me. She didn't say anything at all. Turns out she sent Alex a disappearing iMessage asking if he'd given her an STD. That was all I needed. I quietly got my affairs in order and told her I was moving out and filing for divorce. She still swears she's never cheated. I'll never tell her how I know. Note, key elements of the story were slightly altered for family privacy, and then update/clarification. Most importantly, when I said disappearing text, I was referring to the invisible ink message. I don't know what that is.
What? Wait. An invisible ink message is like those things that you get when you're a kid where like you write a secret message and then
pen.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
How would that make sense?
Sorry if this story comes off as fake. I felt incredibly guilty about it for a while now, and I feel like I can't share with family and friends. I just needed to get out. Could I just say that if you have seen like your wife at a restaurant with another bloke and there's a way to like be a bit of a shithouse, you've sent an STD notification to a phone, that is like elite level shithousery. That is like Ronaldo, Messi, Neymar, Bale level shithousery. Like, give that man his gold chalice.
Can I just say, petty, but I love it.
Yeah.
I love the pettiness.
It's a level of pettiness I aspire to.
Yeah. Okay. Also, as we've spoken about cheaters previously, I mean, I'm sorry, she made her bed and now she's got to deal with the crabs. I'm sorry, but
yeah,
and obviously she has slept with them because she hasn't mentioned to her husband about getting an STD notification.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't be asking him, did you give me an STD if she hadn't slept with him? So, yeah. Also, like, okay, yes, would the mature thing to do be to go and speak to her after you'd seen her at the restaurant and be like, let's have an adult conversation about why you lied to me about going to meet this man who you called cute to your friend? Yes, okay, maybe that would have been the mature option, but I prefer this one.
The mature option would also have been not to sleep around on your husband of 12 years.
Yeah, I agree.
If that is a prior arrangement in your marriage, while I don't like it, if you both agree to it, you are free to do as you please as married adults. If it's something you're both in agreement with. this doesn't seem the case in this scenario. It seems like your wife's a bit of a dog. So, yeah. I would have also, I don't know, maybe fucked with Alex's car, like, what is it, Beverly Hills Cop banana in the, where they call it a tailpipe, we call it an exhaust. Banana in the exhaust, and let one of his tyres down. Milkshake on the windscreen, just little annoying things.
There's actually a funny thing to do. I don't think I can tell it on the podcast.
It's not your story
because,
to share.
No, it's not, but you know the one I'm talking about.
I know exactly
yeah.
what you're talking about. I thought you were going to mention that story
I won't,
when
I won't.
I said that.
Yeah, no, I did think about that. No, I won't.
No.
I'll keep it private. It's not my story to tell, but it is very funny.
A person
and
involved
if you're
in
listening,
that story might be special guesting soon, so maybe they can tell it if this topic comes up.
Maybe they can. But anyway, I'm going to say, wait, what's the question? Am I the asshole, or was it just like...
Ooh.
Or was it just like,
remember.
What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah. Am I the asshole for sending my wife an anonymous STD notification? Fuck no, dude.
I'm going to say no, or I'm going to say yes, but justified asshole. Like, that's a thing. Like,
well, it's...
kind of an asshole move, but it's also
but
fair.
It's a way to catch... Would you say he was a bit of an asshole for using Find My Phone to see where she was and then go to the location instead?
I'm saying like maybe he might be considered an asshole by some people, but I'm gonna say but a justified asshole.
Oh yeah.
So like he's being petty, but as we said, kind of fair petty, and I 100% would do the same thing. Like I'm sorry, if I found out that you were cheating, all bets are off. I would stalk. I don't know. I would mess with your mind.
What, like, put my wallet in the fridge and be like, no, you put it in there last night.
No, I don't know. Something much more evil than that. I'm not exactly sure what, but I'm sure that I could think of some pretty
reverse mohawk
things. I don't know. Do stuff to your car. Maybe not to compromise the safety because we have a child together, so I can't have you die.
Please don't cut my brakes.
Yeah, I think it's fair enough. Also, to be honest, I think you should have sent an STD message to Alex as well.
I think you should have dressed as a doctor in the white coat, had a clipboard in tow and a stethoscope, ran into the restaurant and said, Maria, Alex, it's HIV, we need to get you treated straight, or just make a really big embarrassing scene out of it and like really embarrass them in public.
Yeah, that would be kind of funny. But yeah, no, I think justified. Your wife is an arsehole for cheating. And okay, again, he mentioned some kind of trauma from her going away somewhere, right?
Well, she was on a military-adjacent deployment, so is she like an army reserve, maybe like a medic or something? Because, if you've been deployed for 6 months to a theatre of war to treat injured soldiers, you must see some shit.
Yeah.
There's a politician in the States called Tulsi Gabbard. She was a doctor in the military, and she's got like a grey streak in her hair from the stress of seeing like soldiers with limbs blown off and horrible stuff.
I can empathise and understand that that's probably a really traumatic thing to go through, but at the same time, it doesn't justify cheating on your husband. And if you don't want to be with him, just don't be with him. How is it that hard to? This is why cheating pisses me off so much. It's like if you don't want to be with them, just don't be with them. Like literally nothing is holding you there, so just leave. Even if you have kids together, I am, as a child of divorce, I'm a very happy child of divorce, and I'm very much pro if you're not happy together, regardless of whether you have kids or not, don't be together. Because also, if you stay together and you're unhappy for your kids, you're modelling that to your kids, and you're teaching your kids that you should settle and be in an unhappy relationship for the rest of your life just because you have children. I think it's much better to go off and have happy relationships with other people and model that to your children, because my parents got divorced when I was like 2, 3, and they're both in happy relationships now that they've been in for the last 20 years. And I get on with all of them. We have really good relationships, and I have gone on, I think, to have a healthy relationship. So, yeah.
Well, not if you're cutting my brakes.
Well, no, that's only if you cheat, so just don't cross me.
Same rules apply.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's all I have to say on that topic. You are not the asshole, or you're a justified asshole, but either way, I respect the pettiness and I respect the creativity. And can you give us your friend's number so that we can send STD notifications? Because if anyone pisses me off, that's going to be a fun little game to play.
Yeah. Oh, I could do that to some of my friends and wind them up.
That would be funny.
That'd be really funny.
That'd be funny.
That'd be really funny.
Yeah, OP, if you could put us in touch with your friend, that'd be great. Please.
I'm sure a quick Google you could figure out how to do it. Maybe it's an American thing.
Maybe. I'm sure there's a UK version. Anyway, let's wrap it up. Is that all of our stories for today? Okay. Well, thank you for tuning in. If you've listened in, if anyone came on our live, then hi. I don't actually think there's been like barely anyone there the whole time, but if you're there, hey. And if you want to listen to the full podcast, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts,
Amazon Music, Amazon Podcasts, whatever they call it. Podbean.
We're wedlocked in on everything. And then if you want to find us on socials, we're on TikTok, Instagram, and X.
Twitter.
On TikTok and Instagram, we are wedlocked.in.podcast.
And Twitter/X is @wedlockedin. And there's also a YouTube channel. Just search Wedlocked In, you'll find it.
So thanks for listening in, guys, and we will see you next week.
Diolch.
Thanks for getting wedlocked in with us. Bye.